This time I built a simple, small side table for my lounge area. It's very useful to have, since once you lounge back in your chair, you don't have to lean forward to get your cup. You want one too? Follow me and lass uns anfangen. The idea started with this piece of walnut lumber. First step is to go over to the planer to clean it up. You can also use a router sled or a sander. Eyes and ears are in place? Let's go! Now usually I like to run the lumber through one more time with less than a millimeter depth change to the blade to get rid of the burn marks, but I will use resin, and I will have to rough sand the surface anyways to get the resin level. Before we pour resin, let's sand the surface a bit and clean up the sides. Like always, let's have fun with it. And that will be it. Let's go and pour some resin. Now we have to build a form so the resin stays put. There are many different options. You can buy an expensive form or you can use bendable thin plastic. For small pours like this one, I like to go with the cheapest option, which is either to use cardboard and wrap that in tuck tape, or the second option, which I actually ended up using, is to just use tuck tape. No cardboard at all. Make sure the tape is tightly stuck to the lumber, because you do not want it to start leaking. Just build a form out of the tuck tape that will hold the resin in place. And now it's time for the resin pour. Make sure you wear some gloves and work in a well-ventilated area or wear a respirator. Like always, I'm using total boat resin. This resin has a 1:1 ratio. Make sure when you're measuring, you use a measuring cup to come out with exact measurements. And then mix it very well. For the color, I'm using a black Total Boat pigment. Let the resin cure. Once cured, it's time to take the tape off and remove the excess resin to get a flat surface. To do so, you can use a router sled, a belt sander, or a planer. The tape is always a little sticky, but most of it will come off. Put on your eyes and ears and let's go! Set the planer to the right depth, and yes, it needs electricity to work, so let's plug that in and try again. Just run it through a few times so the rough material is off. After that, let's get to sanding. The board is nice and smooth. Next up is the finish. Like always, I'm using Mica-made liquid hydration, followed by a thin layer of mousse margousse. A link for both products is in the description below.
The same floor our world has been shaking on. Oh, what's your soul saying? Oh, is your world changing? Oh.
Now you have essentially two options. Make the board a table by using table legs and screw them to the bottom, or use rubber feet and make it a serving plate. I can imagine some good cheeses with some meat and some fruits on it. Lecker! This time I went with the table. Make sure you pre-drill all the holes, then insert the screws. I only chose to use 3 of the legs since it is a very small table, and 4 was simply too much. And we are fertig! Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Tschüss!